Welcome back, my friends and minions, to another TheKillerNacho Wi-Fi battle, and we are battling one of my favorite viewers, this is Qwilliams23, and on my stream the other day, he wanted a mixed tier match featuring one Uber, one RU, one UU, one RU, one NU, one PU. I think I got them all. But there they are. Neither of us are going to be using a high-end Uber. Just to keep it fun, I'm going to give a Ho-Oh a shot. It has an X4 weakness to Stealth Rocks, which kind of keeps it from being used even in the Uber tier, but it's actually pretty fun with Regenerator. And he's actually going to be bringing Deoxys-Defense, so there you go. Ironically, though, we both end up bringing Zygarde as our RU, so I don't know what the odds are of that, but it's pretty funny. So anyway, he's actually bringing, I think, 4 Pokemon that are actually on his team in the NGDL2. The St. Louis Fletchinders, which currently has the best record in the league, mind you. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and just go for the Toxic as he switches in Deoxys-Defense. So that's obviously kind of awesome for me because getting that thing Toxic Poisoned is obviously one of the ways to deal with it that I have on my team. So he's going to go ahead and go for the Spikes. And yeah, I'm just going to go for the Stealth Rocks. Touche, I suppose. I decided to switch in. I'm thinking about maybe switching in my Florges in order to defog, but I'm like, you know what? The Stealth Rocks hurt him a little more than the Spikes hurts me, so I'm just going to go to my Bruxish, which is the other way I really have to hurt this thing. I actually end up bringing a bulk up Bruxish, and yeah, this thing is actually really scary with its Strong Jaws ability. It makes it so biting moves can do a ridiculous amount of damage. So he's just going to go for the Toxic, and I'm like, okay, I really don't want this thing to be Toxic Poisoned, being that it's supposed to be a bulk up user. I want to keep it kind of healthy. So we're just going to go ahead and switch back out now into Florges finally, and I do have Aromatherapy on it. This is pretty much a Cleric Florges, pretty much straight up, with Defog and Aromatherapy, both. So yeah, he's going to go ahead and switch out into his Blastoise, and I'm like, you know what, he's probably just going to Rapid Spin, so I really have no reason not to Defog. And you know what, that also kind of wastes his turn, so ha! He's going to go ahead and Rapid Spin, get rid of my Stealth Rocks. I'm like, well, you could have just done nothing, and I would have gotten rid of them for you, because I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Defog. So yeah, we both get rid of each other's hazards, and that's how it's going to go. So I don't really have a whole lot to do to Blastoise, I don't think, from this Florges, but I obviously do want to get my Toxic Poison taken care of, so I'm going to go for the Aromatherapy now. And he's going to go in and withdraw. He knows that he can't do much to me either because Florges has a monster special defense stat. He's going to go out to his own fairy, his Togekiss, and yeah, this thing is probably just going to be, you know, the Hax Kiss that everyone knows and hates. So I actually decided to go into my Ho-Oh because I know I can deal good damage with a physical move like Sacred Fire against this thing. But he's just going to go for the T-Wave, so now I'm paralyzed, so I'm not going to be able to add speed. I do have Regenerator, though, and I know that, you know, with Ho-Oh's Uber Bulk, I can take an Air Slash okay. I'm kind of hoping that I get the, to hit through it. I think it's about like a 30-something% chance to hit through Flinch and Para. But after 2 Air Slashes, I'm just going to switch out. I know I can go right back into Florges and get the Aromatherapy. He's not going to be able to do much to me with Air Slash. Even less to me because I have less to me than I did Ho-Oh. And I can go for the Aromatherapy, which will obviously not only get rid of the T-Wave on Florges, but get rid of it on my Ho-Oh. So I'm just going to go for it. Unfortunately, he does go for the T-Wave, despite knowing that I have Aromatherapy, and he ends up getting the 25% Parahax that turn, which sucks. And yeah, my Florges, though, can take those for days. With leftovers included anyway. And as you can see, he's doing, I don't know, he may be doing a little bit more than double my leftovers healed, but at the end of the day, he's probably looking at a 9-hit KO or something. Either way, I'm just going to go for the Aromatherapy. Both of us, well, both of my Pokemon get cured of their status. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out now into Zygarde, anticipating another Thunder Wave, and knowing that Togekiss doesn't really have any strong fairy moves anyway, so it's pretty safe. Anyway, he's just going to go for the T-Wave, and I got that what I wanted, and he doesn't really have anything on his team to take 1,000 arrows, well, Choice Banded, so I'm just going to go for it. Well, okay, never mind. He has his Deoxys-Defense. But I'm hoping with Choice Band, and knowing that it already had some damage on it, it would be a 2-hit KO, but that just shows you the monstrous defense of Deoxys-Defense, because that is not going to be a 2-hit KO. I'm going to try for it anyway, even though I think after leftovers it's not. And, yeah, he's going to survive with red HP and get off that sweet, sweet recover, which is going to, obviously, mean that he can wall me. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pretty risky switch here. I go out into my Beedrill, anticipating another recover. He ends up going for a knockoff, so that's actually okay, too, because that's going to be unboosted, being that I obviously have my Megastone. And, yeah, this is one of the Pokemon I have that can deal with Deoxys-Defense. I have, like, kind of 3 if you include the Toxic on my Credilli. But I'm just going to go for the U-turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Obviously, with adaptability, it would do a ton of damage. And I'm kind of anticipating he's going to switch out anyway. And indeed he does. So that's going to give me not only do good damage to whatever it goes into, but it's also going to obviously let me get the matchup advantage. And I'm just going to go back in my Zygarde, seeing that he goes out into his Vikavolt. And even with Levitate, doesn't matter because 1,000 Arrows obviously does hit flying Pokemon, even though it's a grad move. So I'm just going to go for that. And, yeah, he doesn't want to switch in Deoxys again. I think because it would actually be a 2-hit KO now. I think I left him at low enough HP. But, yeah, he's actually going to go into his own Zygarde now. And, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I wanted to switch out anticipating Outrage, but I thought he might switch it up. He ends up going for the Outrage, and he ends up winning the Speed tie, too, because I think we're both banded, or maybe he's not. I'm not sure. Either way, he's locked into Outrage right now. So I know I can go into Florges and hopefully kill this Zygarde here with a Moonblast. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to go for the Moonblast. And I end up getting a crit, which will take him out. I don't know if it mattered. It probably did, because, you know, Florges isn't obviously the most offensive Pokemon. But, yeah, that was really good for me. I basically traded Zygarde for Zygarde, and that's advantageous. So, yeah, in comes his Togekiss again. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out. I know that he's probably going to just T-Wave me again, but I'm kind of hoping that Ho-Oh can hit through this, because I know that a Sacred Fire would do a boatload of damage. But unfortunately, he's just going to go for an Air Slash again, get the flinch, and I think he gets 2 of them again. And I'm like, okay, I have to switch out Ho-Oh again to get Regenerator Pack off. So my Uber really not doing that much in this match. Kind of always wanted to use Ho-Oh too, it being that, you know, it's kind of always an iconic Pokemon, even in Gen 1, obviously, because it was in the Pokemon anime intro. But either way, I'm just going to go out into my Florges again as he goes for an Air Slash. He doesn't do much with that. I'm just going to go and heal my Pokemon with Aromatherapy again, knowing that if he does T-Wave me, I have a 75% chance that it'll just negate it and do nothing. But he's going to go into Zangoose, by far one of his scariest... Actually, it's his PU, I think. But it's a very scary Pokemon, considering it's coming in here for free with Toxic Boost now, which is going to increase his attack. And I don't want to give him a chance to set up, so I decide to stay in, which is probably a mistake, because he's going to be able to take out Florges, and that means I can no longer Aromatherapy or, you know, get rid of hazards with Defog. So it does give me a free switch into my Bruxish, though, which is faster, thankfully, than this Zangoose. And obviously, it can hit very, very hard, and I also have priority on it. So I'm just going to go for the Psychic Fangs, which is my strongest move because it stabbed. He ends up going into his Mega Blastoise, which obviously is somewhat of a defensive tank, so it's going to take that very well. But I'm going to go into my Credilli now as he goes for the Scald. So I do have Storm Drain, and that's going to give me special attack boost and all that. And yeah, he's just going to go for the Toxic. I actually end up, what do? I think I set up Stealth Rocks again. Yeah, I kind of anticipated a switch, but now he's probably going to Rapid Spin. I'm like, well, actually, he gave me the Storm Drain boost, and I do have Giga Drain, so I'm actually thinking with the +1, I should be able to take this guy out with a super effective stab Giga Drain. I'm not going to go for it now, as he pretty much is, you know, obviously goes for the Rapid Spin to get rid of those hazards, but it's going to cost a Mega Blastoise, and Credilli doing some nice work there, taking out that annoying Mega Blastoise. And, yeah, he's just going to switch back in now to Cylon here, his Deoxys-Defense, which is obviously annoying. I do have Toxic for it, but I decide to switch out, and I go out directly to my Bruxish, because I do have Crunch. And I'm like, I didn't see anything that he can really do to me that would be that bad. I saw Knockoff earlier. I don't know what his last move is. If it's a Psychic move, then I resist it. I think I haven't seen all of his moves. Spikes, Recover, Knockoff. I don't know what his other move is. Maybe I missed it. Oh, does he have Toxic? I don't remember. Either way, I'm just going to go for a Bulk Up. So I'm going to try to set up now against this thing. I know his remaining Pokemon, and I outspeed them all. Obviously, with that +1, he's going to go for the Knockoff. He gets rid of my leftovers, but I already have +1 defense thanks to Bulk Up. So I actually take that very, very nicely, and now he can't get a boosted Knockoff on me. So I'm going to go for that second Bulk Up, and I'm hoping that with +2, I should be able to take this guy out. He's just going to keep going for Spikes, which is a little weird. Very questionable, because when this thing with Strongjaw sets up, it can absolutely devastate. So I'm just going to go for a Crunch, which is boosted by Strongjaws, and it just obliterates. I mean, it was a crit, but I don't even know if that crit mattered. It would have done more than half anyway. But, yeah, it just obliterates that freaking Deoxys-Defense. And, yeah, in comes Togekiss, and I'm like, well, I have Psychic Fangs with your name on it, son. And bam! Alcarrare, Togekiss, and your last Pokemon is Zangoose. I could have probably went for an Aqua Jet if I wanted to. Actually, that probably wouldn't have killed because he wouldn't have been boosted by Strong Jaws. But could have outsped him anyway. But no, I'm just going to go ahead and kill him. He does go for the quick attack, which is able to get some damage off on me first. But with +2 defense, not able to finish me off. So good game, Qwilliams. But yeah, Bruxish is able to do a lot of work. But anyway, today's question of the day is going to be... So what are your least favorite or least favorites as far as Pokemon sprites go? So it's not necessarily your least favorite Pokemon. I don't want you to like give me a Pokemon you don't like the design of, but pretty much an unflattering sprite, or I guess now it's like a 3D image. But basically, something that you don't think is very flattering to that Pokemon. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of bad sprites over the years. I'm sure most of you are probably going to say some kind of weird Gen 1 sprites, and two of mine that I'm going to mention were Gen 1. So here's the first with Mew. And look at this thing's head. It's just so stupid looking. And then I really hated this Wigglytuff too. And yes, because look at its eyes. It just looks so dumb. Like, what is it? Why is its eyes not the same size? But the one I really wanted to talk about is... Okay. And this is actually not just a Blastoise thing, but this Blastoise. And it's really more like a 3D sprite thing that I really just don't like about the Gen 6 Pokemon images, the 3D images. They took a lot of the color. Like, this Blastoise looks so incredibly, not only boring, like the entire 3D, most of the 3D just standing still graphics just looks like the Pokemon is just standing there, and it's not in any of the cool poses like you've come to really get used to with, the sprites. Plus, take a look at the difference in color. Like, this is really kind of grayish blue. Take a look at, the fullness of, and the, of this dark blue that, for Blastoise, just from Gen 5 and previous generations. It's like they completely changed the color to make, like, them a little more realistic looking, but they end up taking away pretty much all of their flavor. It's really kind of hideous, and it's not just Blastoise, but Blastoise is the one that I really noticed it in, and I'm like, wow, that just looks awful. There's definitely several others, though, that fit the bill. But yeah, leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.